You know, when we're talking about deception, I'm going to ask a question to the audience. And again, no trick question. No trick question. He read in Revelation, the 12th chapter, the 9th verse, that the devil had deceived what? The whole world. Is that correct? Now, those individuals under the influence of that deception, if I was under the influence of truth, just listen to the Father. This is not a riddle. All you have to do is listen. And if I was under the influence of truth, when those individuals under the influence of deception say, I love you, and I under the influence of truth say, I love you, could we mean the same thing? No. You got to hear the Father. No way that we could mean the same thing. But you hear the same language. Subsequently, you assume that we're talking about the same thing. But we're not. Those individuals under that deception could not possibly mean what I mean when I say I love you. Because their love is deceptive love. For example, tobacco grown in the fields, tobacco sold to the manufacturers, and they have to get a license from the government to manufacture the cigarettes. Then they distribute them to the retailers, and the retailers have to get a license from the government in order to sell them. And then right on the pack it is written, carcinogenic. This is going to destroy your lungs, give you emphysema, says that this will cause you cancer. And to show you that they know, and it's the truth, every year 400,000 people die from it. I mean, all around you. And they market those, and then they will stand up and say, we are the defenders of life. I'm trying to figure this out. Selling a product to their own citizens that they know is going to kill 400,000 of them every year and cause untold suffering and pain. Now, you can't tell me that that's love. There's no way when I say that I love you, if I governed you, could you conceptualize me selling you a product that I know is going to kill 400,000 of my citizens every year? Can you envision me doing that under the influence of truth? I could not do that. That's not the love that I'm relating to. I would never give you a cigarette. Whether you desired it, whether you longed for it, lusted after it, I would never give you a cigarette because I must express to you what I have in my heart for you. My love for you. How can I say that I love you and give you a carcinogenic cigarette? That's a different kind of love. That's a different kind of love. No. It's time for you. It's time for your resurrection. Take a hypothetical situation with Mary and John, and one day Mary comes back home to her father and mother, and she's crying in bitter tears, and her mother poses a question to Mary, and she says that, Mary, what's wrong? You know, why you come home? She said, I left John. And she's crying. She said, I left him. And her mother said, why did you leave John? And she said, because he don't love me no more. And her mother said, how do you know? And she said, because he don't act like it. Is that correct? That means she has associated love with a what? With a behavior. And she knew that when he did not display that behavior, he didn't what? He didn't love her. And she knew what? To put some distance between her and John. Because he does not love me. Now, you go home now, and the sister comes in the presence of the brother, with a carton of cigarettes, and she has it behind her back, and she come in and said, "Here, baby, I sure love you." I'm standing there and listen, she loved me. And then he on the other side got a prize for her behind her back. He said, "Baby," he pulled the bottle of gin out, and he said, "Baby, I love you too." And they're loving each other to death. Loving each other to hell. And I don't mean to offend the sisters, but I don't want to be loved like that. I want, as a matter of fact, I have to inquire, if you say you love me, I'm asking you right away, what do you mean? And you got to give me some explanation, because I don't want you coming in tomorrow, and giving me a pack of cigarettes. I don't want that kind of love. But they've given you the impression that that's love. Oh, I really love my man, and I really love my woman. But that's the problem. That's the problem. That's a different kind of love. That's the wrong perception of love.
That's hate.
Say it again.
That's hate.
Because hate is a behavior too. That's hate. I could not give you a cigarette because I must treat your body just as I would treat mine. I will protect your health with the same energy that I will protect my health. Because that is the love I have for you. But you can't recognize it today. Right in all of the stores around you, they're selling cigarettes. And somebody told you, "Oh, that's just tenets of freedom." And you go right on down the street, not understanding that. That's a strange kind of freedom. Strange kind of freedom. They've given you the perception of freedom. That's not the freedom that we're trying to achieve. Right? Brothers and sisters, friends, relatives, associates, and all of those whom I'm speaking to, motivated by my love that I have for you, saying these things simply because I desire you to change. I desire you to keep your kidneys, keep your lungs, keep your heart, keep your liver, keep your sister. Stop loving her like that. Keep your brother. Stop loving him like that. There's another kind of love that we must display under the influence of truth. Under the influence of truth. Stop feeding him that they've told you that that's destroying his health. What kind of a family? Can't you see what's going on in these families? Every day you put on the table before your children, before those that you say you love, you feed them a diet that you know you've read, and they're telling you that is destroying their health. And you say you love them? You say you love them? You don't love them. I'm just telling you, the Father's just being truthful with you. You're under the wrong perception of love. If you love them, everything that you feed them would be to protect and to enhance their health. You could not give them those things which you know are destroying their health. So all around you today, we see the signs of a hell on earth. But under the perception of deception, you can't see it. But the tree has to yield, the corrupt tree has to yield corrupt fruit. It is absolute. It has to yield corrupt fruit. And since he that planteth the seed is aware of that, and in order to maintain your participation, deception has to come into place. For they must deceive you so that you not understand what it is that you're looking right at with your eyes. Perception of deception. And I've been talking to you for quite a while, but I'm inspired by my love I have for you. And I wanted this to be so clear until a fool could not err. Until a fool could not err. And for many of you here, I want this to be the evening of a new beginning. You can't make the entire transition overnight. You don't move from child into adulthood, but find you a beginning. Start the transition. Understand, because as you start the transition, you're saying to the Creator, I understand. You're saying to the Creator, I want my health back. I want to live again.